What are the things that worries you the most when they don't have that round-the-clock care?
Oh, 100% it'll be their safety. Anything can happen at any moment, and that's why we do risk assessments to make sure that we try to minimise the risk, but at the end of the day, things happen that are beyond our control.
So today I'm joined with Mel, who is the Director for Rumor Services, that's Mel Slamet. And we're here today just to have a bit of a chat, just to understand her business, her clients, and how Vitara CarePilot can help augment the support that they provide for families or communities as well. So Mel, thank you so much for joining. I won't take too much of the thunder away from you, so I'll let you introduce yourself.
No, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. So I'm Mel Slamet from Rumor Services. We are a registered NDIS provider and we provide support services for a range of people with different disabilities, from support work, domestic assistance, taking them out into the community, transport, or just being there as a friend or some mentorship or social support. So it's pretty flexible, and we will work with you and tailor your needs with what services we can provide.
And I'm so glad to have you here because Vitara CarePilot is all about care and having that personalised support and service. There are a lot of NDIS service providers or registered NDIS service providers. How does yours differ from like the big organisations out there?
Look, I'll say we're pretty ordinary. We're all human beings, and at our core, we just want to help. And we are a smaller organisation, so when you pick up the phone to give us a call, you're most likely going to be talking to me or one of our service managers, and we'll have a casual chat with you and we will get to know you and what you need, so that's really the first step and how we can support you.
We are all humans at the end of the day, which is one of our values at Vitara CarePilot. But I guess one of the questions I do want to kick off this interview with is, what are the common struggles that carers go through that typically go unnoticed?
Look, it can be quite an isolating role in the fact that you are going into a participant's home, somewhere where they're quite comfortable, and also you might not get that, I guess, support as you would if you worked in an office or around with a lot of team members. But essentially at the end of the day, we want to keep those communication channels open with our support workers. Any question is not a silly question, and we just want to make sure that they feel supported in that way. And it's also very hard for us to be there 24/7. We do work with our clients really closely and we build that relationship with them, so we almost feel like a member of their family. So we're hoping that the technology like what you can provide will give that bit of distance between the support workers and their families, and the participants as well.
Definitely. And you mentioned earlier that it's the 24/7 aspect of the support that you provide, which everyone can struggle with, or everyone does struggle with to this day. What are the things that worries you the most when they don't have that round-the-clock care?
Oh, 100% it'll be their safety. Anything can happen at any moment, and that's why we do risk assessments to make sure that we try to minimise the risk, but at the end of the day, things happen that are beyond our control, and if we can be a bit more proactive about it, that's the end goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I did want to ask you, especially with the fact that we are in the business of mitigating risk, we can never eliminate risk. What are the most common scenarios that you've experienced or observed where a client or people that you are looking after haven't had that round-the-clock support?
Yeah, we do have a range of clients who have epilepsy, and that's really difficult and challenging in itself because we're not often sure what could be the main trigger and we can't really predict when it will happen. And it's not very sustainable, especially for their funding as well. Not everyone gets 24-hour care, especially those who might have epilepsy, and we can't be there all the time to make sure that they're not going to fall or endanger themselves.
Yeah, I mean, the cost of living crisis is definitely hitting a lot of in everyday families. You mentioned the fact that you can't be there 24/7, that it is unpredictable. With the Vitara CarePilot sensors, because it is connected to permanent power, there is 24/7 monitoring around the clock. So there's nothing to worry about with regards to batteries running out or dying, or issues with having to wear it because it isn't something that you wear. So it's constantly monitoring 24/7, especially with scenarios like you've just mentioned. What are other scenarios that you can, or examples that you can provide where someone has had a critical or a serious issue?
And most often than not, the incidents happen inside the home, and the home itself gives a false security that you're going to be okay, that nothing's going to harm you. So it's most of the time they're taking out their pendants when they're out in the community. But you know, if you're going outside just to water the garden and you have an accident, you're not going to have anything around you to reach to, especially outside. So yeah, we see a lot of accidents unfortunately happen within the home or in the garden, or just not really out in the community.
Yeah. Again, people do tend to feel more safe when they get inside the home. So as soon as they get inside the home, they may take off the pendant or take off the wearable. And we're not saying that the sensors are meant to replace the pendants or the wearables. Absolutely not. It's meant to act as a complementary tool or co-pilot in care, especially when you're providing that 24/7 support and monitoring, which is what our sensors is able to do.
It definitely sounds like, you know, an investment that's worth it at the end of the day. We want our loved ones to be safe, and we can't be there 24 hours. So to be able to have something that they can use to be able to make sure your loved ones are safe, that's important.
So the next question I have for you is around the NDIS process and the home care packages support. So for people that are watching this right now who haven't had the chance to apply for the NDIS or the home care packages scheme, which is going to be replaced by the supported home package from the 1st of July this year, what are the tips or guidance that you can provide people at home?
I would say if you're thinking about it, start the process now. And get onto it as soon as you can, because it is a timely process. There might be some back and forth communication with the agency. They might ask for additional evidence, and you know, we're happy to guide you through that process step by step. And don't be scared, because I know from experience English might be your second language. You might not really know much about NDIS, so ask those questions. Get all the information that you need to be able to make an informed choice, and hold your ground. If you need that support, just do it.
And I guess, let's say, for example, they want to engage with you. If they're watching right now, how would they engage with you? How can they contact you or reach out to Rumour Services?
Yeah, give us a call. You can visit our website on www.rumourservices.com.au. There'll be a summary of the services that we provide, and we'll answer your questions, and we'll break it down for you so that it is manageable and you'll be able to understand what needs to be done every step of the way.
Awesome, love that. I will put their details in the caption section below. I'll also put their website in the in our bio so that you can access it freely. Vitara CarePilot, your co-pilot in care.